Hello, in this video I'm going to be creating a bill of materials for a manufactured part. Now the screen for creating the bill of materials is also used for creating the labour plan, but in this instance I'm just going to do the manufactured part. The screen is available for Redthorn SP and the full system as it's a critical area of the system. So you can go straight into the planning screen straight from the planning and engineering folder, both on the SP workflow and the normal one. But a lot of customers will go through it through the part product maintenance screen. And so for the video, I'm just going to do exactly that. So I've got a two-part assembly, which I'm going to use by way of example. And if I go into planning, it'll take me through to the planning screen for that part, which is exactly the same as pulling it off the menu. And it's instantly showed me the material plan for this two-part assembly. And I'm going to step through this material plan in detail so you can have an understanding of what you're looking at. Now I'll go through the left-hand side first. So on the left-hand side, I have a tree view of the bill of materials. So it's the bill of materials only, and I have three routes here. And on route 1, which is currently material and labour production route, I have 4 materials, then a sub-assembly, then a sub-assembly. And within that tree, I can see sub-assembly number 1 has 1 route with 2 materials, sub-assembly 2 has 2 materials, and I have no further routing information, but I could have multiple routes with multiple bills of materials. What's seen here is a reflection of here. So there's my 2 subs, subcon heat treatment, consumable, another random material, and some aluminium bar. So there's a few things I can do off this menu structure first before I move to the right hand side. If I right click the production route, I can copy a material plan, which means I can bring a material plan from another part and copy it across. This element of functionality is in the copy part screen as well, so I've covered that in that video. I can copy a labour plan the same way. I can add a route, so if I add route, I'll get route 4. I can change production route. Now, to change and make a live production route, the production route that's live will take the one with the latest release date. So if I wanted to make route 3 the production route, I'd need to set this date here to later than this date here for both the bill of materials and the corresponding labour, because you can have multiple versions of each. So that's how you make a production route live. So you can see route 1 has the latest date and is currently live. So just changing the dates here will control the production route, which is obviously the default, which is then produced when running a job. I can go into the material database to add materials, which are going to be used in planning because you need to have a material code there. There's also a quick add function, which allows you to very quickly add a material, which will then go into the material database without having to put further information in. And then there's the IRN database, which takes you to the parts, and you can also print a ident report, which is a bill of materials listing for this part. On the left hand side, so that's the left hand side covered. On the right hand side, you can see the individual materials. So you can see the material code, description, whether it's an assembly, specification, quantity, unit of measure, cost. Cost is being pulled through from the material database's standard cost for that material, and it's times by the item quantity. Then you get a total cost and a total weight, which is based on weights if you've recorded them against the sub-assemblies and parts. I can see the labour plan here, but I'll come back to the labour plan separately. A couple of other things to note here. These are the 2 sub-assemblies, and I've also got that subcontract heat treatment. This is coming from the subcontract material database, which the main system has. If you're using the SP version, subcontract materials will just be put into the material database as normal. You can see you put a subcontract heat treatment here, and also I've got subcontract as a machine, as a routing item, so this item goes out to subcontract. So I'll create a full bill of materials separately, but off the bottom here you can see you can delete a material, so actually ASMAT doesn't really need to be there. So deleted that material, link to the material database, again, link to the subcon material database and material table screen. So they're the main items of a bill of material. If I want to then look at a lower level assembly, so if I want to view the planning for this lower level assembly, I can just double click on it and say, do I want to view the planning? Yes, and I'm now looking at the bill of materials for that lower level assembly, and also I'm looking at the labour plan for that lower level assembly. And likewise, I can click on this. Do I want to view the planning for that one? Yeah, I'm now looking at the planning for the other lower level, which looks very similar, but is actually different. And then I can go back up to the top level. So you can navigate yourself around a bill of materials for a multi-level assembly, and you can have hundreds of levels of assemblies, and you can actually have hundreds of routes as well if you have very large assemblies, which some of our customers do. So now I'm just going to add a few items to a bill of materials to show very simply as it's done. So I'm going to clear this screen, and I have a part which is a two-part assemblies that currently doesn't have any items in the bill of materials. And for me to build it, I just double click to add the codes. So there's my aluminium bar, tab it, I'm going to have 200 millimeters of that, it'll pull through the cost, tab again, give me the next row. I'm going to have one of those assemblies, one, next one, tab, another assembly, one, and finally I'm going to put subcontract heat treatment in. Heat treatment, one of those. So you can see very quickly I've built a bill of materials for this part. It's pulled the costs in, given me a total cost, total waste based on the material costs. And also, as you can see, it's built and showing me the bills of materials and the routings for the subs I've pulled into it. So it is simple as that. And I save that, and it is ready for production.